Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of my Macedonian campaign for Divide et Impera, the mod for Rome 2. Today I believe that we are on episode 10? Woo! And honestly, I'm just really excited for this. I'm happy that I finally have gotten to a pretty late point in a campaign that I'm recording for the first time in quite a while. I was taking a break from this channel. I played 3 campaigns offline without recording them, just to kind of boost my skills and also try new things out when it came to diplomacy, when it came to empire management, when it came to political management, or just becoming more familiar with the general controls and, just kind of the finer details of this game that I had neglected for years in favor of just learning how the battles work. But in any case, it's getting off topic. Last episode, we won a decisive victory against the Romans over a cure named Araminium. In between turns, the Romans ambushed this army right here, but they paid the price of confronting the Macedonians without a sound battle strategy. After that defeat, the Romans withdrew their forces from Arretium down towards Roma, knowing that holding in the north is futile. However, the Romans are still a very strong threat. Yet at the same time, even the balance of power is reflecting a shift in fortunes. It's around 50-50, which is pretty rare, honestly, when facing the Romans, which means the Romans are pretty low on resources at this point. Just the full impact of losing as many men as they have against us has been pretty crippling, I guess. Although the Romans have been doing damage against the Africans, they didn't even realize that they were in North Africa. But in any case, guys, let's just get right into it. In this episode, I'm hoping that we can continue to take territory against the Romans and actually secure Italy. I think that we can probably create a breakthrough quite soon. It's just the Romans are withdrawing, and I think that their preoccupation with Carthage will just lead to me having a pretty big advantage. So quite confident I'll be able to put the Romans in a grave soon enough, at least within the context of Italy itself. Like, I'll be able to get the Romans out of Italy. It'll take a while for me to take Magna Graecia and Sicily, but I think I'll be able to do enough damage in Italy. And I'm just moving these spies around to see if the Romans have any troops nearby to reinforce, but they really don't. The south of Italy is more or less deserted, so these 2 armies I'll be able to destroy very soon. Meanwhile, this army is very, very strong, although inexperienced to the utmost, so I should be able to beat them. And these Polybian maniples aren't the best. These are just Astati, right? The young men of the legion, the inexperienced, lesser armored men of the legion. So there's weaknesses showing in even whatever armies remained for Rome. Yeah, I'm just going to send this army down south a bit. This force I do want to actually use to win some battles. This force I just want to recuperate, ideally. But you know what? We'll go ahead and fight those battles in a moment. For now, another thing that I did want to do is I did want to eventually move this army to start helping out these forces. But the thing is that I can't leave Apollonia deserted while I move these armies around, so I'm just hoping that I can train a new army in the meantime to hold Macedon, and then I can move this army up north and march them through Illyria to get to Italy. I think with this army too, I can just overload the Romans and completely take Italy, but it's just gonna take a little bit for me to create an army to hold in its stead, to replace it, really. And I'm just kind of trying to see where the population in this province is to do so. I mean, Macedonia has a fantastic second-class population, but besides that, I wouldn't really recruit anything here. Athens, I should just leave alone. What about Sparta? I think Sparta doesn't really do a whole lot yet. This actually is pretty cool if I get the reformed Sparta or whatever, but yeah, for now I definitely do have to wait. Any case, let's just keep on moving here. We can move this navy. I wanted to fight these dirty Thracian pirates who have been causing issues for us. And let's see, with 1500 Polytides, I wonder, where do I see that number, 1567? Is it here? Actually, no, it's not. It's not Pella either, though. Is it Anphia? Yeah, it is Anphia. So it's through Anphia that we recruit, which means that I don't really have to be concerned about which population we're recruiting from. But I definitely do have to be concerned about how much money this navy is going to cost me per turn. So let's make sure to get something that's actually like good. You know what? This naval unit is going to be absurd, and this is the last unit we're recruiting in this army, so I think we should go all out and actually get something good. Meanwhile, I don't want to use up too much of my upper class population in Pella, and you know what? I did want to recruit an army. Well, I wanted to have this lady. Let's see, is there anything I can do to increase gravitas with this army? Or with this general, this lady? I want to, like, get more gravitas, but alas, it appears that... Ooh, there we go. Plus gravitas, it's perfect. Anything else I can do? Okay, just line of sight. I mean, don't really want to pay for that political action right now, and I did want to, like, adopt, potentially, this guy. Yes! Beautiful! So now... It's like formally part of the family, and we can go recruit him in Larissa. I'm just kind of checking out which generals are an option. But yeah, this guy's 0, so that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and recruit him. And now that we recruited him in Larissa, we don't actually have to use up nearly as much of our noble population in Pella. So that was the reason why we recruited this general in Larissa, of all places. And now we can go ahead and kind of check out our population here. I mean, it's a second-class population that we have a lot of, so just kind of wait for that to kind of go. I mean, we can also just recruit, like, third-class population and stuff. And I don't really need this army to be, like, hyper-elite, to be fair. Nor do I need this army to be full of, like, a Gema or anything. I mean, the Romans aren't exactly going to launch the most spirited assault of Apollonia, I believe. I do wonder whether we even need, like, fantastic troops to help guard that settlement, but I think that we definitely do need something that's worthy of putting up a spirited resistance. The Romans are still capable of, you know, inflicting a severe blow against us, so let's just get, like, 2 of these archers as well. They're always good on the defense. We can get, like, one of these kind of Thracian white shield infantry, but those 2 phalanxes are definitely going to help us. And meanwhile, let's go ahead and defeat the Romans. I mean, I just see no need to dally. The Romans, they're on the retreat. We defeated them in battle. Why not wipe out the remnants of the Roman force? Of course, the thing is that once we take Araminium, if we take Araminium this turn, I'm unsure of... Actually, not Araminium, it's Asculum. If we take Asculum this turn and head further south, it will divide our defenses in Italy, but I think I will be able to still do everything perfectly, and honestly, we just have to charge this Roman force, because that ballistae has the capacity to do a lot of damage against us. Honestly, it just does. Forces are lined up, ready for action. The ballista can do a lot of damage to a force when it is arrayed so we're just going to continue. We're just going to charge our men forward. Our light hoplites, our skirmishers are going to run forward gleefully, but it is our cavalry that's going to hit the ground running the quickest. 27 kills already on the ballistae. You see, like, the Romans do need to be taught a little lesson here. Now, the enemy does have ample cavalry, spear reserves, but those spears aren't really going to be able to, like, mount a spirited resistance, in my opinion, so... Honestly, I just want my cavalry to back off here. My infantry is getting pretty close at this point, so I think I will be able to make use of them pretty soon. Plus we have, like, my militia hoplites not my militia, sorry, my light hoplites running forward, so they are going to start picking for the enemy quite quickly as well. Also, our skirmishers are beginning to assemble a rough line, so my slingers should start shooting quite soon. My light hoplites are going to get into combat first. Ooh. Let's see, one of my Sarissa Lancers is absolutely caught. Let's see. Oh, it's a Greek slinger, but ran into the Equite. And Equite only has a couple of men left, too, which is kind of bullshit. Anyway, we did have to lose some men by charging the enemy ballistae. I just wanted to shut them off before, like, the battle gets too far. But you know what, this Equite, like, they really couldn't kill that many men. With only 13 guys left, like, what chances does the Equite really have of killing a lot of slingers? You know, even though slingers are light troops, it's like, with only 13 men, a unit is kind of combat ineffective. And the last of these Romans should just get overrun. Like, sure, my light hoplites aren't the best combat troops in the world, but they were quick enough to kind of get into combat, and with, like, javelins flying in, with my phalanxes also coming in to reinforce this paltry Roman line of survivors and cowards from the last battle, you know, they just aren't going to be able to hold. And you can already see that, like, some of the Romans have fled. You know, men like these Marbate spearmen. Man, these are like Italian allies. These aren't like patriotic Romans.
General, ready and waiting. At your service. Front shield pikes. Commander, ready.
I do want to just kind of overwhelm what's left of the Roman line here. Ooh, these Polybian skirmishers. I don't quite like what the Velites are doing, you know, getting 3 flank shots, just no problem. But yeah, we'll just have my men kind of form up over here, and I'm actually just gonna have my general charge in here. And I think of this general with the entirety of my infantry force as well as my general with his retinue of elite Macedonians attacking Septimus, the Roman leader. I believe that him and his bodyguard are going to quickly get worn down and obliterated. And actually, it looks like the entire Roman force is starting to retreat. Beautiful. I mean, obviously that was a really easy battle, but I'm happy that we didn't lose too many troops, so yay! A 177 man loss? No, that's like nothing. That's easy. It's a piece of cake. Very, very content with this result. Very, very, very happy. So there we have it. I think I will just kill the captives, you know. I just don't really approve of Roman cowards, you know. It's not really the brand that Rome has sold. Let's see, Hellenic infantry units. I mean, why not? We are going to mainly use Hellenic infantry units, so I see no need to avoid that upgrade. But alas, it does appear that in these cold winter months, we're not going to really get the chance to move. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just kind of move our agent into this army. I have felt like this army needs more like experience, and this one's gotten so much over time that it's like we can just wait and we can put them into this mode. I do want to eventually upgrade the town hall settlement in this province, but it's just not going to happen this turn. And we've already moved our agent, so the only thing I don't remember moving actually is, whoops, sorry, I actually shouldn't have done that. This was already moved, and we already started retaining. We already adopted a family member, and you know what? Can I do that for anyone else, dude? It's like nothing. I mean, honestly, like I prefer to just adopt some people. It increases the influence of my party, which is like what I want right now. Because we increase it a little bit, we get to our ideal influence level, which would be nice. And yeah, over time, eventually I do want to like move this guy, like this agent, into this army, but maybe not for next turn. Let's let the turn go by. Now, my navy is eventually going to go to battle against the Bosphorian Kingdom. We have done immense damage against the Bosphorian Kingdom with our navy previously, but now it's even more powerful. So I do think that it's going to actually do quite a bit of damage to the Bosphorian Kingdom if we use it opportunely. The Bosphorian Kingdom is suffering. We're down to 1 settlement, so maybe we can wipe them out. We did have to drop our alliance with Bithynia last episode. I mean, we were getting attacked by everyone, and even though Bithynia has gotten up to 2 settlements, which is a little bit rare for them, usually they're a 1 settlement faction, I'm still just not very impressed. Rhodes has been trying to create an alliance with me. I just don't trust that Rhodes will actually be alive for very long, but they're gaining territory. Like, I'm getting impressed by their performance so far. I usually trust a lot Riot when I see that particular mission pop up. Then okay, that's a pretty normal war. 2 armies, 2 factions into Pontus duking it out. And let's see, our income is starting to get pretty low, but we are recruiting more military stuff, so it makes sense. Yeah, we'll be able to fight those pirates next turn probably, or at least chase them off. But let's see. I mean, I don't really want to make my armies more expensive at the moment. And I was wanting to focus mostly on civic stuff, so let's just do that. Tax rate, -3 empire maintenance. I mean, this is also just ideal. It'll boost everything a little bit, so why not? And, ooh, I did not realize that this agent was working. Actually, let's just kind of go ahead and make sure that every agent is actually doing their job. Not necessarily like the spies, but... Nice, nice, nice. Good. Okay, so let's first move our navy. It should kick the Thracians out, which will get us back to good public order, but then I want to actually chase these Thracians down because they are an absolute nuisance. They're pirates after all. They suck my resources and provide nothing. Okay, and let's march this army over. It means that this army has really just 1 more turn, because these admirals, like, they cannot wait to attack Apollonia, so I can't move my general until this new army is in place. However, we definitely do have the capacity of recruiting more men here to help guard, and honestly, I just think that, like, 2 more spearmen, yeah, with 8 units, as well as the original garrison of Apollonia, will most definitely be unstoppable. I do want to march like this army within range of Arminium, and we finally managed to get there, so yay! Meanwhile, if I go take Asculum, I do think that it's going to be kind of hard to hold it, but I also don't really think that we have too much of a choice here. And I don't think either of these armies are going to get to Asculum within a turn, so, like, why not try? We'll, like, try to hold that settlement for now. With that navy disrupted, there's really nothing that we can do on that front. There's nothing I need to do politically. We can't move our general until we've kind of set ourselves up here. You know what? We'll go move our hero, like, into this army right now. And yeah, we'll just start marching, like, next turn. And yeah, we'll go ahead and play this battle out. Defeat another Roman garrison and take Asculum. Now, admittedly, we don't really have the money left to raise this settlement, so I think that we will need to just loot it and then use the proceeds of the looting to remodel the settlement. I don't really like doing that, but I don't have the financial stability to raise settlements whenever I take them at this point in the campaign, so nothing I can really do. But let's see. I mean, this flank is, like, really weak, and I should be able to completely butcher them with light hoplites, as well as maybe an Agrionian just to kind of help support. This flank is a lot more precarious, so we will move our pikemen into position and use them to hold. Cavalry will just kind of move into position a little bit closer so we can support, but I'm eyeing up these enemy skirmishers because I want to use my cavalry to eliminate them. Typically these guys try to deploy on their flank from the naval positions that they're at, and we'll see. Although this time the Romans are actually sending them into the settlement, which is far safer. Usually the AI tries to like deploy their navies somewhere here or something. There's obvious patterns in the way the AI fights, so you have to learn them. But yeah, here we go. I am gonna go and send 3 light hoplites to go and fight this battle. I'll get my Agrionians close just so they can support. Yeah, my slingers are gonna start pelting these Italian swordsmen with their deadly projectiles. My slingers aren't the most deadly skirmishers ever, but over time they do end up doing quite a bit of damage. They're just a little bit slower to have impact, I've noticed. But yeah, we'll have these Macedonian light hoplites deploy on the flanks here, and they have a reasonable charge bonus, so they can do some damage. See, these Agrionians, I mean, these guys don't have the most armor, but they definitely do a lot of damage on their charge. And they have 2 volleys of javelins, so I'm just gonna kind of wait for them to deploy some javelins, kill some guys. The enemy mob has already routed, and we'll just kind of gang up on the enemy here. The slingers have started to hit the enemy hard. Oh man, I mean, this is fantastic. Like my light hoplites, they've definitely like hit a nice flank here. My light hoplites are superior to the enemy militia spearmen, so over time we should start to stab them down. Plus we have our Agrionians coming out of axes too. So like, over time we should wear the enemy spearmen down sufficiently. Plus, my slingers, I mean, they're having impact. Like, we have managed to strike down a couple of Italian swords thus far. And I'm hoping that my Peltas are more able to kill Italian swords here.
Run, shield pikes, warriors of Macedon.
Let's go ahead and just form a grand phalanx in front of these guys. And ooh, okay, we're down to 1 spearman over here. Once we kill that spear, we'll be able to just plow through the enemy. And you know what? I'm seeing the enemy leader right here. I'm thinking we should just assassinate him. If we move our cavalry close enough, we'll just charge the enemy leader and murder him. Meanwhile, we've won on this flank, so... And what's in front of me? Slingers? Slingers? Let's clear them. Meanwhile, some Italian swordsmen, I mean, they are crumbling. They are losing their most stout defenders. These are not men that the Romans can really afford to lose. These are the people in charge of this defense. More probably kind of like retired veteran legionaries. That usually is how a Roman garrison was made. It was just made out of settlers. But yeah, I mean, the Romans are going to throw some javelins as we approach our main line. But the thing is that they're like... Your city is just unprotected, pretty much, so... Yeah, we'll send my light hoplites running after the enemy. And my light hoplites are basically just as fast as the enemy skirmishers, so if we won't really be able to outrun them that easily. You can see the enemy general's gonna try to protect his skirmishers because they are vulnerable. At least he's seemingly reacting to my light hoplites, but it's not like the enemy general could really survive against my light hoplites in battle. You can see my light hoplites have caught the enemy slingers, and they are killing them in melee combat. They actually shattered them. The enemy slingers did not have a backbone. Meanwhile, ooh, my Macedonian light hoplites, they caught another... Oh no, these are Italian citizens, so... Again, like middle-class men who are... Oh man. Yeah, we're destroying these guys. Meanwhile, a little bit over here. The enemy's doing alright here. While I do want to start to like push up against these Italian swords, I'm hoping that eventually we'll start to kill them. It looks like for now, They are winning.
Fight the lines. Battle tasks. I'm in charge. Commander. Kyrie. Yours to command. Hades can wait. Light up the blaze.
Hoplites are not having a good time against the enemy general.
Ready for orders.
There you go, the enemy general just died.
Light up the blaze. You have orders.
And I just get my cavalry to flank around. I mean, this battle actually is over. Now that we have this clean flanking opportunity, and with the death of the enemy general, or at least a routing of the enemy general. Technically, I don't know if he's died. But now I do. It's a general recently died. When I clicked on that Roman units, and now we're going to capture the city center. At this point, the battle is over. Because the Romans just don't have command of enough of the battlefield to prevent me from flanking. And when you get flanked in Rome too, your units die very quickly, so... no, this unit cannot charge through enemy spearmen, especially like a light Sarissa Lancer like that unit. It won't go well. No, this unit has to back up. We're going to take way too many casualties if I let them continue on their pathing. But, on the bright side, I have Agrionian Peltas who have charged against, like, Levy Marines or something, plus these guys are ready to flank as well. There's, like, enemy slingers trying to fight up against some of my phalangists, so... And actually, my pikemen really haven't been doing that effectively in this battle, but it doesn't really matter. So we're about to like hit with several cavalry charges, and the enemy infantry have gone rear charged, and yeah, it's about to be just like a mass rout. Yeah, very predictable. We lost some men though. I don't really like losing around 200 guys to a garrison, but the Roman garrisons can be pretty good. Specifically the Italian sword bit, although you can see that these spearmen, they did alright against some of my units which I would consider a little bit early gamey. Like, I wouldn't recruit Macedonian light hoplites in anything but the early game, but now I'm kind of just stuck with them in this army for the time being. Don't really have the income to start swapping out troops just because I don't think that they're optimal troops to have in that army. And also, I really haven't been prioritizing the development of Italy in the slightest. I've only upgraded one building my entire time thus far, but alas... don't really think it's going to change anytime soon. And who is this general? I do kind of want to search him up. Is he a member of a nobility here? Who is this fellow? It's Cosmos, the Macedonian nobility. And, I mean, that faction is very happy with me. So yeah, let's just... So long as I don't increase cunning, I suppose it's fine. And I kind of like the blue ones. I mean, absolutely, like, empire maintenance is a huge hindrance, so why not? And I do like all of these blue ones, pretty much. Other than the one that increases gravitas. Yeah, we'll increase public order. We'll just go for a bunch of things that really just make the province around the general better. And I think that we should at the very least improve his temple, and we were hoping to do something that helps improve... what is it? We're doing things that are going to help improve, like, an industrial province, because Rome is... Like, Italy usually is an industrial province. Like, if you manage it ideally, I'd say, so... There we go, we have our... not our general, but rather our agent there to kind of help things along. For authority. Although that's definitely not the best use of that general. And now that we've actually recruited some units, perhaps I can... some ways improve this army. And we have at this point 4 pikes, but we can definitely get it like up to 6. No, we really can't. We don't have... Actually, yeah, we do have enough, so that's good. And I definitely did want to like upgrade Illyrium. And I wanted to make this province more conducive to farming, so I'm just wondering... Like, Hellenic colony, is that like fortified? Yeah, this decreases banditry, this... I mean, I think that this would be kind of like the all sources. I mean, yeah, I think that Metropolis would definitely be my #1 option. We have the food for it. And it's only -2 public order. Just have to look out for that Squalor, I suppose. But Squalor is actually pretty good. So let's just go for Metropolis. I think that that's going to be my next upgrade. And it definitely will improve the defenses of Illyria. It also will improve the income of Illyria. So just all around a positive thing. And yeah, we've taken a settlement against Rome. We're upgrading this army, but we can't move it anymore this turn. Did I want to change the positioning of any of my guys? Well, you know, we can make our spy actually activate. We'll get more movement abilities that way. We've already done all that we can with that settlement, and I don't really want to spend any more of our income upgrading. Don't really see any of our other opportunities to recruit or anything like that. After all, it's not like these settlements have great recruitment abilities just yet. So yeah, you know what? Let's end this turn. Quite happy that we captured another settlement against Rome, particularly in Italy. And look at that. The Romans just stay put. It demonstrates that they're not very confident in their hold on Italy because they've just been fighting against Carthage, I imagine. You know, to take North Africa requires a great effort of just moving a lot of troops there. So the Romans are just a little bit low at the moment, but you see, that's one of the reasons why I'm not really that trusting of Rhodes, because while they are defeating the Galatians quite cleanly, they're losing navally against the Ptolemies, and they keep on losing ships, and I'm just wondering whether the Ptolemies are going to show up and scoop something up, and then I'll be bordering a Ptolemies that don't like me if I ally with the Rhodians, but perhaps at some point I'll feel more comfortable making an alliance of sorts. Now let's see, this is industrial, so I definitely want to, or alas, so see, like, this income from livestock ranches doesn't help me because we don't actually have livestock ranches in my faction. Like, we have this, but this is like more of actually a military thing. These are war horses. There we go. We can just kind of get a temple. So good. These are my allies, so I don't mind that they are moving in. Yeah, we definitely don't have particularly great population amassed over here. But let's see what we've done over here. Like, have we recruited 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We absolutely have, and I think Apollonia should have, like, absolutely no middle class people left. Let's march this general across. Now we can actually start getting into action, and with this general having moved, we can go and do something here, and yeah, let's just go ahead and garrison this settlement. Perfect. Now we just wait. That's beautiful. Let's go move our navy, see if we can destroy the Thracian pirates. Now, admittedly, this was probably an ill-founded decision because my navy is 1 turn away from not having any supplies. And we have to go back to one of our ports, so I just hope that we don't end up losing any naval troops, but we'll figure this out come the turn's end, but in any case. The thing is that, unlike troop transports, these are actually, like, reasonably strong vessels, so I do have to be a little bit careful, but not so much so as to be excessively worried or anything. It's, I should still have, like, a lot of advantages. I have no idea why my ships are, like, swerving away. Probably because I overloaded them or something. Not overloaded, but, like, kind of layered them on a little bit too thick. Let me just command like a general charge, because at the end of the day, my navy is just far more professional than that of a like pirate crew, like what I'm fighting. It's just the truth of the matter. We have a professional navy here with massive vessels that are going to be extraordinarily good for ramming. I mean, look at these guys over Scorpions on board, taking shots as my Marines ready up for battle. Hoping that... Oh, Jesus, just this oblique angle at which we come is so uncomfortable for me to look at. And I feel like some of my ships just absolutely, like, did ram successfully, but... Man, we actually did lose some, like, ships. Yes! I need to go and like rescue some of these guys. I feel like we're potentially gonna lose some ships here just because of how like maneuverable the enemy vessels are. But I don't know. Perhaps the enemy's lost so many men that that's impossible if we're just gonna rout. I have no idea. Like, we are throwing so many javelins at the enemy Marines, and yeah, most of our ships have left, but I wonder how many troops, how many units we lost. Was it just the one unit that I saw, like, go down? Because in that case, it's regrettable that we lost a unit, but acceptable. As long as it's not really our, like, general, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's kind of hard to fight against, like, an enemy, like, that has a professional navy and not lose a unit, I suppose, because the enemy can ram, and ramming is really effective. Okay, well, there we go. Christian pirates are gone. The only question is whether we actually are going to lose some men next turn just because of, you know, kind of the distance between us and our home, I guess. No, this navy is, unfortunately... Oh, I want this gravitas. Send her on a mission. Let's see what we do here. I do want campaign map movement, so we'll go for that. And let's just see whether there's anything here that I really want. I mean, honestly, like outside of the cost of a navy, it's really just the power of a navy that we want to upgrade. So yeah, see that. Next turn we'll get back to town, and let's see what's going on in Rome. I mean, obviously we want to go and shut down this rebellious rabble. We lost 46 men.
Ready for battle. Advance. March until your feet bleed. Then march some more. Ready for... Make haste, men.
I guess you can only have one unit patrol the region at once or something? I have no idea. The thing is that, of course, if we go 2v1 and we take, like... Actually thinking... I think that there's definitely a good possibility of taking Iridium next turn if we play our cards right, so we'll just kind of do that properly and cannot move. You know what? We'll have these guys dig in for now. Yeah, I think our spies are in great positions to keep track of enemy troop movements, and yeah, there really isn't anything else that we can upgrade for now. Bologna next turn will be upgraded, and ooh, we finally got our fortified Pella. I don't think it really increased the total number of men that we have defending our settlement, but we do have 7 Greek hoplites now, so this is a pretty elite, like, defense. I want to like increase the music a little bit here. I do feel like it's perhaps a tad low. Alright, I don't think that there's really anything else that we can do. I mean, we've moved our armies in Italy, we've moved our general, we've upgraded whatever we wanted to upgrade, we've won a battle. Even if it's not a particularly challenging one. So yeah, quite happy with that. And the Romans continue to be defensive. No real initiatives being taken on their end. Meanwhile, I'm just curious whether the balance of power at this point perhaps reflects me just being better. And after all, they've lost at 2 essential settlements in Italy, which should be the main moneymaker of the Romans. Now, to be honest with you, like, I haven't really been cultivating particularly good diplomatic relations with factions. Like, I've been kind of keeping to myself a little bit diplomatically, and now you can just see, like, all of these factions starting to consider what their relationship to me is like, so we should be able to make some deals soon enough. It's just, I don't really have a lot of money, so I haven't been thinking about using it on something like, you know, diplomacy. Just doesn't seem that worth it. And I mean, it was really good that I didn't decide to get more entrenched with Bithynia, because it looks like Bithynia is basically gone as a faction. Perhaps they have like a navy somewhere or something, but yeah, I mean, they're somewhere, but there we go, just stranded in the middle of nowhere. It's a great thing that we weren't too involved with them.
To listen if you speak honestly.
We have a non-aggression pact with Pergamon, and now we have a trade agreement, so that's pretty good.
Satisfaction to the gods and to my people.
Speak wisely, if speak.
Unfortunately, the Ptolemies, whom I actually do want a relationship with, they don't want a trade agreement, neither do the Seleucids. Well, you know what? Maybe at the end of a turn, we'll go focus in on diplomacy a little bit. Fortunately, I don't really have a lot of retaining amongst our best units, but it doesn't really matter. And I just don't know whether there's like a Roman army to the north. I mean, I'm concerned about that because I remember there being one. But you know what? It doesn't really matter too much because we will eventually get our general into play. And I'm just wondering whether that is perhaps something I should just wait for rather than barreling forward and trying to take Arretium. I mean, it'll just be so much safer once my general gets into play. You know? And you know what? Let's just go and upgrade our town settlements here in Italy. Let's try to entrench our position, get those garrisons going. I'm not going to upgrade this army anymore just because it's already like a pretty good army. Let's see. Like, I do want to continue to like increase the power of this agent. Better upkeep. Like, I want to do things that just like actually upgrade my army rather than just like the agent's abilities to like poison armies and stuff, because that's not what I'm using him for. And dude, I just love how much Pella is growing. Yeah, this navy's already starting to like kind of hurt. So yeah, we really do need to park our guys here. Hopefully we can recover in a turn. 2 turns, 1 turn, max 2 turns. That's pretty good. And let's see, we did lose a unit, right? So I did want to. Oh, we don't have the ability to recruit anything good. No, it doesn't matter. We can retain our navy next turn. And yeah, we're gonna march this army across. So really just have to wait until next turn to do anything with it. I do want to go and investigate whether the Romans have any armies in the north near Genoa, because I don't really see the full extent of the Roman Empire just yet. And I don't know whether I want to use any of my money to try to upgrade any buildings further. I mean, let's see what the options are. Larissa, I mean, if we upgrade this to this, it's -4. It also improves Squalor by 1, which is bad. But we can afford both of that, so let's just go for Larissa. Sparta's always a little bit glitchy, but I remember that there was like issues with Squalor here, so I can't really do that. And I don't really want commercial Sparta, because commercial Sparta is just not ideal here. Like, I'd prefer to go for probably fortified Sparta. different reform level required. I don't know whether we're actually going to get that reform level. It probably is because of the reformed Agoke thing, and I think that there's a good chance that we actually cannot get it. Honestly, I think that we just won't be able to get it since like we don't actually have like the Spartan building chain. And I think that this is the only thing that we could get, the manufacturing one. So I'm not really like a fan of it. I think I'll just leave Sparta at a low level. I will want to increase Crete's building, but that will just take a while. And yeah, obviously for any of these, if we want to increase it, then we will have to pay for it. I think I will just wait on this one. What about a Nyader? I mean, I definitely want to upgrade this. Looks like no Squalor here. Banditry 0. It's pretty good, but that might just be because of my general. And Squalor's low. Banditry's low. -4 public order is not going to be great, but we can afford it. So -4 public order. This would also be -4 plus Squalor. Let's just get more food. That's what we really wanted out of this province anyway. It's supposed to be a food producing region. And we could double attack Iridium, but we're going to wait for a little bit to do that. And yeah, I mean, it seems like the natural conclusion to another turn. So yeah, let's just end it here. Rever. Actually, let's
Greetings in the
see whether there's any factions that would really consider opening relations. Now, the Scythians are powerful people, and I do want to have treaties with them, but they're just unreliable. Meanwhile, in Serbs, I mean, they are kind of on my border. Well, I was willing to entertain a... Actually, I can do a non-aggression pact, perhaps just like the tiniest of payments. There we go. That's something that's worthwhile. The Galicians seem rather weak, and I think that we can kind of treat them a bit like a pariah. Well, I could have a non-aggression pact for free with Carthaginian-esque faction. Not gonna work. These guys are allied to the Galatians, so I don't think that's gonna really happen. But they are willing to trade with me if I want to. It's just not really worth it. Now, Pergamon.
I am honored to greet such an ambassador of...
Now, I actually do want to like build up with Pergamon. Pangoria, I mean, they're willing for a non-aggression pact, and I'm absolutely willing to have one. They were my former ally. Pontus, they're at war against like everyone, and they kind of suck a little bit. I don't really want Pontus. I do like Carthage.
Are all yours. Fail them with your one.
Yeah, we can go military axis, continue to deepen relations with Pontus. Skordiki. I don't want to fight them anytime soon, so let's go get some more alliances with him. Trapezos, they're with Pontus, and I don't really want to like deal with the Pontic alliance, so we'll just leave them alone. And yeah, let's end turn. Got some treaties to help strengthen my flanks. We'll recover some naval troops as well as resupply our navy. We can go and send our navy towards Macedonian waters so that they can recover a bit more soundly, and we can get that 20th unit. After that, we'll go send our navy towards the Bosphorus to try to finish off the Bosphorus kingdom, that Hellenic rabble of sorts. Take them out. Put them to the sword. The Romans. I don't know whether I really need to wait for my faction leader to arrive, but I think it is advisable. I mean, my faction leader is in command of the most elite army that I have on the field. Besides that, the Romans are always capable of mounting an effective counterattack, so if my general is there to help take Araminium, it'll just make things a lot safer. On the other hand, the Romans have seemingly withdrawn a bit, but again, I don't know whether they have Genoa under wraps or whatever. Massalia, ooh, that's actually quite nice because... Let's see, I mean...
Welcome. I throw.
Honestly, I have no intention of fighting these guys. It's another military faction, another Greek faction. You know? Why would I turn my back on another Hellene? There we go. They don't seemingly want anything to do with me besides trade, but they're willing to open trade relations, which is nice. Solia hasn't expanded greatly, but you know what? With that uncovered, it really does look like the Romans are in pretty bad shape. I mean, the Romans, like, they have units in Italy, but they just don't seem to really be acquiring any more.
Ready for battle. Commander, at your command. On the move. Ready for battle. Advance.
How these guys just kind of stick around here and wait a minute. Was public order? Okay, I thought public order was somehow better before I started to patrol the region. I'm like, what? That doesn't seem to be accurate. But anyway, Pella has fantastic population. Like, we are just in general doing very well. And let's just go back here just to see what we can recruit. Perfect. Excellent. Just get this, another one of these elite vessels, and then we shall turn towards Pangoria to wipe them out. Don't really have any desire to upgrade this province as of yet. Greece is doing excellently. Yeah, we've already done all that breeding that we really wanted. And yeah, this is, it is in general like a very powerful general, so we'll keep on upgrading. Actually, no, he's like a family general. I was saying he's not a powerful general, but he's a family general. He's going to be a useful general. We don't have any more of these guys that we can recruit. We moved all of her units. We've done all of her upgrading. Politics have not changed. Just a general. Ooh, I can marry this girl. That's what I was waiting for. Finally, we can get ourselves some children. Hopefully Hero comes back well tutored. Yes. We shall extend our family. We shall adopt everybody. That way we actually do have successors and all that. And oh, Rhodes got taken. Ooh. The Ptolemies are making moves. We could have a successor battle happening soon enough. Honestly, successor wars are so hype, so I'm kind of excited. Apollonia is at this point a pretty powerful settlement, honestly. But yeah, and Pella is doing very well population-wise. We will have powerful phalanxes emerging from the city left and right soon enough. Yeah, thus far, we have done brilliantly, I believe, in this campaign. Just need to keep on pushing. Let's end the turn. Oh, somebody's gained some experience. Who was it? Ooh, Greece. So this is an agricultural province. Let's get more food, more public order and research rates. You know, we can increase our security against agents. Nothing wrong with that. There's always agents lurking around trying to cause some trouble. Finally, I can see some Roman movements here. Some ships going around, some armies moving strategically. But it really does look like the Romans are more or less giving up northern Italy. I'll take it next turn with my levy army. Mostly full of levy tier troops that have been equipped by the state, like furrow spears, and some foreign auxiliaries too, like my Agrianians, as well as my Thracian warriors. We'll take the Romans down a peg with those guys. And then after that, the only settlement left in Italy will be Rome itself, guys. Rome is about to fall into Republican era, which I've never done in a campaign. I've never brought the Romans down this early on. Usually they make it to at least a Marian reform, so I'm actually quite happy. So let's just keep on going here. let's see whether we can bring the Romans down. So riding the capital always crush the riot, just usually, yeah, it increases the influence of other families, but it matters not to me. Let's see, we have 8 turns and full units. Let's just, oh! Faction rises. I mean, where's the Bosphorus Kingdom now? Are we gone? Oh, okay, so the Bosphorus Kingdom still has control of some settlements around, but you know what? Pesos probably is pretty unprotected, and that is a settlement with a port, so we could just go ahead and take this settlement out, and perhaps we'll even discover some settlements as my navy sails around. Those important things that we did manage to get rid of the enemy navies that were nearby, so... Sorry, not the enemy navies, but rather the enemy pirates that were nearby. So my navy can go through the Bosphorus unassailed by anyone else. General's gonna get closer, for my king, and fight this battle too. Don't really want to improve any buildings, but I'm just kind of checking on like what's going on here. Like Athens is almost built. Pulpadeva's getting there. Doing pretty well. My navy's already moved, and I don't really want to improve this army anymore with any more raw recruits, so we're good. I do hope that eventually my first class population starts to expand, because obviously Macedon has insane first class population recruits. I mean, just look at all this cavalry, look at these royal peltasts. I wish I could just get as many of them as I want, so soon enough we'll be able to do that. And yeah, Rome hasn't really expanded past this border, past the Alps, so we can kind of just... Oh, there we go. This is where the Roman army was. And I just wonder where the Romans were campaigning in the north. I mean, it doesn't seem like they have too many enemies here. Like, these are all Libyan factions. And I don't actually see anyone in the north other than the history, which are my allies. Outside of that, these are all factions that are in Africa itself. So, but yeah, I do have to watch out for this one Roman army. But on the other hand, I mean, just look at the state of decay it's in. It's not an army that in any way, that I'm in any way scared of. In fact, could I just get like military access with these guys? Like, because if I can get military access, I will just go in and clean those Romans up. But they're seemingly protecting the Romans by denying me military access. So, yeah, not for now, but soon enough we'll be able to put enough pressure on Roma to get that army away. But I think for now, this is really all I can do. I mean, I just don't have any other moves this turn. So we'll play this battle, and then that'll probably just be the end of this video. After all, we'll get to the hour point at this point. Sorry to Rome. I'm really surprised that the Romans haven't tried in any way to, like, engage me in more battles. Like, I have been very cautiously taking settlements, but at the same time, the Romans have, like, had a bunch of armies in Italy that they could have, like, tried to converge upon me with. But again, like this army, this is the cheapest army I've recruited thus far. We kind of did skimp on the quality. We recruited Phreo spears, which are uniformly equipped, at least pretty uniformly equipped with government equipment. But you can see that other than like having these oval shields, the spears, and the javelins, actual armor and helmets are basically not standard. So this is kind of like a middling professional unit. You know, the government's equipping these guys, but these guys aren't really like trained as professional men. They're no legionaries. These Agrionians are just elite Thracian tribesmen. You know, very warlike, but kind of light. You know, they prefer to come out with javelin and axe and charge into battle and be quick and dexterous rather than too strong or rather than too stable. And then these Thracians, they hit like a truck smashing into you when they get you on the charge, especially in the rear. But as you can see, they don't have armor. So the challenge with these Thracian Romphia warriors is really their defensive capabilities. They will crumble in long-term combat. Although they have 21 armor, which you wouldn't think of by looking at them, but they have okayish armor. It's just the lack of shields really screws them over. My cavalry in this army is of a middling quality. They're kind of light but quick and agile. You know, 8 movement speed across the board type of thing. As you can see, the Romans are just peeling out of his settlement. It appears that they prefer to get aggressive rather than stay humble inside of the settlement, which is to my advantage for sure. The Roman general is peeling off an I kind of like the cinema of just like having the enemy general fight against my general. You know, it's particularly easy to engage in such a thing when your general is a 150 unit, you know, 150 entity unit of Macedonian elites, you know, with 43 armor and 32 weapon damage as well as volleys of javelins. Like, my Macedonian general is just so freaking strong, but of course I'm willing to have him charge a weaker Roman unit head on with less stats across the board. Like, who wouldn't, you know? But yeah, I kind of do want my Freyo spears to, you know, get into combat here. But I want them to cast their javelins first. Meanwhile, considering just how quick, like, these Thracians are, they have 3 movement speed, which is pretty quick, quicker than average, so I wanted them to kind of go along the flank. Yeah, as the enemy tries to engage, we have Agrionians, and ooh, my general absolutely obliterated the enemy general. He lost 1 man, but he managed to kill. So great. Yeah, but go ahead, kind of bring my Freyo spears into the enemy militia. Pretty similar unit, but my Freyo spears are stronger by a little bit. And yeah, we'll have my Thracians kind of loop around a bit. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to make sure that my Freyo spears, my Greek spearmen, get enough chance to charge out properly here. Yeah, my cavalry kind of screwed up there with that charge. Oh man. Now, I do want my Thracian warriors to be able to hit the enemy head on, if that makes sense. You need to make sure that my Thracian warriors actually engage the Italian swordsmen and kill them, because I feel like that's kind of like their main task at the moment, but I also need to make sure that the enemy Italian swords don't like fully engage the enemy. And you know what? It definitely was a smart idea to dismount my general. Good thing he hasn't died yet or anything, so we can have these guys chase the enemy. Yeah, so far so good. So across the board, we have done immense damage to the enemy. If anything, I think that most of these guys are dead. And yeah, the enemy Italian swords just aren't going to be able to do great against my Thracians, because my Thracians just tear through armor. And, you know, when they get, like, a charge this extreme on a mere militia unit, it's just gonna, like, scare. And militia units don't have the best morale either, so, like, they are going to be breaking. Enemy general died, of course. And my general just dismounted so we can go and fight a spear-wielding militia more effectively. So yeah, my Macedonians are gonna go and tear into these Roman commoners. See, there's an Italian swordman coming from the settlement, so I'm just hoping that my Greek spearmen and Thracian warriors are gonna be enough to do some damage against these Italians. We'll go ahead and send some Agrionians through the rear. I mean, really? Italian swordsmen at this point are probably on the verge of collapse, but you can see, like, some of the Italian swordsmen have killed, like, 50 Freyo spears or something. But my Freyo spears aren't impervious. You can see this one Italian sword that's kind of holding in a choke point. Like, they are gutting Thracians and Freyo spears, no problem. Like, they are losing men too. But still, like, they are losing they are causing casualties on my end, so quite happy. Or rather, I'm quite sorry, not quite happy. It's just the morning. Words are hard, but yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate to see the damage the Romans could do to my Pharaoh Spears, but again, the Pharaoh Spears come from the third class population. They are very easy to recover. And I'm very happy that my Thracians killed so many men. See for armor-piercing capabilities in action. Yeah, let's just go ahead and raise the settlement. It'll be the best for its long-term growth. And ooh, a nice wine settlement. That's awesome. See, both of these improve agricultural wealth, which kind of does suck because I want this to be an industrial province. Or at least commercial. But alas, it doesn't appear to be a possibility. That won't improve commercial. It really is the wine guy that's going to do that. But you know what? We can go ahead and get something that improves sanitation once again. Yeah, we can get like a wine building. I do like the public order. The public order improving capabilities of that building, but like of the wine building, so we could go for that. But you know what? Let's just go for a temple for now. Just keep on improving things. I think that when it actually comes to building up industrial wealth, we'll just have to do so in Roma itself. But yeah, with our Retium taken and our general kind of marching in, one should definitely get a full grip on Italy soon enough. But yeah, there's really nothing else that we can do. Really is nothing else that we can do. We've upgraded everything that we can. We've moved everything that we can. Let's just end a turn. Oh, never mind. It can definitely upgrade some things. Let's get the aggressive trait. This army has a lot of spears, so let's get the spear-armed ones. We can do some missile damage upgrades too. Now, I just wonder whether this is a family member. They absolutely are family members, so don't have to worry about improving their cunning trait, which can be quite bad when it's not in the hands of a family member. Yeah, let's just make this a combat general, so we're going for the red tree. And yeah, let's just let the turn go on, see if the Romans are willing to do anything aggressive, and nothing to us. They did disturb a Carthaginian fleet. The Carthaginian fleet immediately recovers and heads back towards Africa. And yeah, at the moment, the Romans are just purely on the defensive, which not particularly great for them. And they don't have Corsica or Sardinia at the moment, so they're also just losing out on that front. Like, the Romans are just confined to Sicily, parts of North Africa, Magna Graecia, and of course, we still have Rome itself, and they do have Genoa as well in the north. So it's not like the Romans are without territory, but they're losing out on this war. At this point, I would argue I'm the stronger faction, and it's probably just time to stop being so hesitant here. Royal rival comes of age? Ooh. Is that hero? Who's come of age? Interesting. Because I honestly have no idea who that's in reference to. I mean, I know that this child was born, but Hero hasn't come back from tutoring yet, so he's the royal rival that I'm thinking of. But anyway, let's see what we could do here with this general. Let's see, +4 morale for all units. That's pretty good. Shots per minute's always useful. Ooh, -1% to Empire maintenance is invaluable. But anyway, let's play on this turn, guys. I'm kind of feeling it here. We can't really march into Insurb territory to fight that Roman general, so I'll just ignore them for now. What we can do here is just march our king into northern Italy. What we can also do is maybe we can route this army to go and take Genoa. But it is an army that's somewhat low on troops at the moment, and this army is fully taut and full of troops. So we can maybe march these guys towards Genoa. They'll get their next turn. Same time, let's go ahead and start to build this army up. Bread and Games improves industrial wealth with this building, but actually there is basically nothing that will improve industrial wealth other than this building, which kind of sucks, honestly, but you know, at the same time, we can go ahead and kind of just get this guy forward. Let's go ahead and build that up. Okay, there we go. Beneventum does have an army there, so I am justifiably wary about that. You know, we have two armies here. Like, clearly we should go and try to assault Rome once we have two armies ready for the task. And Asculum just needs to remain guarded by this force because there's so many Roman forces in the Legion, and I think that they're going to converge on Asculum. Like, that's what's making the most sense for me based upon Roman troop movement. So we'll keep our forces here. I want to make sure that all of my agents are properly deployed here. Yeah, let's just keep these guys, these spies, focused on the south where the Romans actually are. It's pretty useful info. We know that the Romans are around, but there's not too many of them to be like fearful or anything. Okay, we can move this army forward. Hopefully we don't find vast armies of the Bosphorus Kingdom, but we haven't, so that's good. I mean, honestly, just another turn of moving my men around, getting ready for the decisive battle against the Romans. But as my forces gather around, we prepare for what really will be like a decisive battle around Rome, which decides who's going to be the dominant force in Italy. Once we take Rome, there's really no chance for the Romans to recover. And yeah, I kind of anticipated the Romans were about to lash out. They're about to go for something. They have a reasonable 1 versus 1 here. My army is bigger, but that's because my Phreo spears are larger units full of, frankly, lesser fighters than that of the Romans. And the Romans have good cavalry in this army, which kind of makes me a little bit concerned. But the good thing is that the Romans don't have the type of skirmishers necessary to like force me to attack them, so I can play this defensively, which is good. The main concern I have is whether the Roman infantry are just going to crack straight through my Phreo spears, because the art is better, and I have to array across a wide front to match the Roman lines. Enemy has 3 units of Velites, which could be a little bit concerning. You know what? Yeah, like none of these garrison units are going to be remotely valuable. Oh, my Thracians is across a wide front over here. You know what? I'm just gonna get like all of my non-general cavalry to kind of back up the Thracian warriors, because I think the Thracian warriors are ultimately going to be like more important in this battle than I might have assumed before, because these guys are actually capable of beating Roman infantry if they get like a preferable charge and stuff. So I just need to support them, I think. And yeah, my Phreo spears need to line up so they can properly trade javelins with the Velites, and my Agrianians too. Like, they really do need to trade as well. So let's go and exchange the forces here to enemy cavalry. Are they going to actually just charge in here? I mean, Phreo spears are pretty good against cavalry, so I don't really mind if you try to pull their horsemen through. Many and Equite are gonna have to be dismounted and dismembered, and these are pretty good Roman units. And again, I don't really know like why they would do this. Like, that cavalry unit actually just killed itself straight up, so it's useful. And go ahead and kind of just double up on the cavalry here. Like the enemy cavalry is really not elite in this battle. Like the Romans have good cavalry, but they're squandering them on very much like just bad decisions. That's helping me significantly. Now that we've killed an enemy unit, we go reinforce our lines here. Go. Losing decisively. Enemy cavalry is probably just going to last a while, but I don't anticipate that they'll be too strong. Then I need to, like, at this point, charge my Agrionians in. I don't have enough time to wait. The Roman infantry is better than mine. Plain and simple. See, like, enemy velites are really strong. Okay, my general's gonna have his work cut out for him. I see some Roman infantry also starting to crack here. Okay, I think that, like, look, my general is handling the enemy, like, skirmishers and the enemy general cavalry. It's the power of a Macedonian general, but I really have to, like, run away because the enemy velites are gonna get their revenge now that my back is turned. Honestly, I do think that we have to start to withdraw some of my Thracians who aren't, like, being directly engaged so they can get another charge. It's a nice charge here. Excellent. That Hastati routing is absolutely huge, and if we can just cut down enough of them on the withdrawal, then we'll be able to do really, really well. I mean, a lot of my Pharaoh spears have lost men, but it's not like the Romans have done brilliantly in this battle either. And this rear charge is about to cut down at least a couple of the feared Roman swordsmen, and the Romans are less on men, so we can't really afford to just easily lose elite infantry. And yeah, with all these Roman swordsmen falling, that's huge. And now the Romans are losing quite a bit of infantry and skirmishers. Like, that Hastati is gonna get trampled, and now that my cavalry has full control of the battlefield, the question is, have the Romans really crushed my center? And the answer is not really. I mean, they are actually peeling through, but they haven't destroyed everything in the center, and I've definitely won across the flanks. But we do need to kind of revive our lines rather than get lost in the sauce here. And the Romans definitely are, like, need to stabilize. Instead, we're kind of chasing my cavalry, which is not to their advantage. And we absolutely can just go ahead and surround some of these Romans that have gone chasing with cavalry. And I just don't think that they're going to do brilliantly here. I mean, you can see, like, a heavily armed Principate is getting charged by my general. All of his splendor. Meanwhile, these Romans are surrounded by angry Thracians who want nothing more but to see their backside. And, okay, there we go. This is battle over. Look at the Roman lines. They've all left. There's nothing but routing men left in the Roman side. This is a disaster for the Romans. They thought that they could win this battle. They thought that in a 1v1, Roman arms are superior to Macedonians, but they realized in this battle that the combined arms of Macedon are superior to the rock-crushing ability of Roman infantry. But yeah, like this Roman army here, right, it's just fully dependent on the fighting ability of her infantry. Her cavalry was just outclassed. And even though my infantry is weaker in a melee, I mean, you can see the Roman infantry actually did better. You know, we just have some specialists here. My skirmishers did way better. And my Thracian warriors were able to be decisive on the flanks and beat the Roman infantry in a head-on charge. And in the 1v1, Rome's main army lost. Now Rome is mostly undefended. I mean, this was the army that was guarding the Turtle City. And now we can just go and crush it. The next couple of turns, I'm going to take a lot of territory against the Romans. Like, I know that I've been very kind of slow and cumbersome in my strategy, but the Romans now are just going to lose a lot. Like, I've been bleeding the Romans until I now see a decisive opportunity to strike. And that opportunity will come next episode. We'll start wrapping the Romans up real good.
We have fine
Ooh, you can see the Scythians, they see for writing on the wall. They know Rome is gone with that victory, and now everybody is going to want to bend over and kiss my feet. For we will become probably the most important and powerful faction on the map thus far within a couple of turns. You know, Italy is just such an important province to own after all. Whenever child is born, perfect. But guys, for now, going to have to call it, but thank you so much for watching, and I'm just so excited to see how this campaign continues. I'm proud of the work we've done so far. Never gotten this far with Macedon in a Divide et Impera campaign, and I do attribute my success to really my knowledge of the mod, right? I've just learned a lot, read some guides online and stuff, and benefited from other people's knowledge, and now I know how the game works more. So yeah, I'm just actually doing well in this campaign because I know how to manage my provinces and build up slowly over time, and you know, being more strategic in the way I'm managing my military resources and stuff. But yeah, that's it for now, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.